Hey guys, it's your girl Stylist Like Alice, and I'm here with
Ree Sewell.
And we're in the SoundCloud office. Introduce yourself, tell us what you do here at SoundCloud, and then we just go on from there.
Cool. So I'm the Senior Artist and Label Relations Manager here at SoundCloud. So I work with a lot of artists and labels, teach them how to use the platform, go up and down the UK and across Europe, teaching artists how to do the same as well, and just how to have fun with it really. And why it's an integral part of your artist journey as well.
Cool. And what inspires you?
Like to get into music?
Yeah.
I come from a fairly musical family. Like I say fairly, like I have a few reggae legends in my family.
Ooh.
And growing up, music was a big part of like my family's day-to-day, so, like with my sisters and my mum and my dad and my uncles and cousins. So music was at the center of Sunday cleaning, music was at the center of cooking, music was at the center of a lot of the TV shows that I watched growing up as well. Like they had the best theme tunes. Like I really feel like today it's not the same. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But Taina, That's So Raven, like it was just always like a bop. Like even Keenan and Kel, Cousin Skeeter, some of these are probably before your time, to be honest. But yeah, like music was a big part of everything that I did. So when I was in the world of work, or when actually before then, like I was kind of known as the music girl.
Okay.
And like amongst friends, and I'd know like who's popping and whatever. I was like glued to MTV Base as a kid, and Channel U, which turned into Channel AKA, and a lot of the music channels. I had Sky Television, definitely one of the lucky ones growing up. So that was what I would do. I'd be flicking between Nickelodeon, Trouble, Disney, and MTV, Channel U, like that. It was like if it weren't a TV show that probably had a lot of music in it, it was the music channels, and like just back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through your journey in becoming a senior artist and label relations manager at SoundCloud?
Yeah, so my journey started, I want to say, actually in secondary schools, like high school. I would do like A&R, I didn't know what it was called at the time, but I would do like A&R bits where I knew this person who can produce, I knew this other person who could sing, I knew this person who could rap, and I'd be putting them together a lot of the time. So I might know them from youth group or from like around my local area or something, or like from school, and I'd just be putting them in a room together when everyone had like, not everyone, when a lot of people who were making music had their own home studios, especially the producers, because they're definitely nocturnal. So yeah, they'd be making their own music in their rooms and stuff, and I'd be bringing these people together and just making music, none of which did anything. Like they didn't chart, some were just like neighborhood bops. But I was doing that from early on. Then I started making a lot of, thanks to LimeWire, I started to make a lot of mixed CDs of all my favorite songs at the moment, like at any given moment really. And I would be giving them away. Like anytime I would have pocket money, I would spend the bare minimum on a day-to-day. I would literally get a dime bar, can of Iron Brew when it was like 29p, and I would get a packet of Doritos, which was 35p at the time, and I'd get like £2 a day or so. So I'd save the other pound, and so by the end of the week I'd have like £5, £6 or so left over to buy like a bunch of blank rewritable CDs, and then just be using my laptop to like my Acer laptop to burn them all. And honestly, I killed many laptops. So many viruses all the time, all for the love of music, I guess. But yeah, I'll be giving them out to friends, loads of mixed CDs, and they were like the soundtrack to like our childhood really, because they'll feature in the parties. Like if you're linking up at friends' houses and you're staying over, that's the CD that's playing. If someone's having a birthday party, that's like one of my CDs will be playing. YouTube DJ.
So you was like the go-to person for that?
Yeah, I was. I actually went into youth work. This was at a time where Labour and conservatives like started to take over, and they were closing the youth clubs and stuff, and I still wanted to support the young people because that was where I found most of my community. And like to this day, like I have quite a really strong network of people around me that I'm really grateful for because of those youth groups. And I knew just how important it would be for others to either have some sort of sense of community, by working in that field with young people and in care, and like, you know, marginalized people, homeless, ex-offenders, I noticed that using music to connect was like where I got the most out of the programs that I'd run. So we'd be cooking with music, and I just see the difference when you're not cooking with music. And I'd be doing like sexual health classes and stuff with like sexual health professionals that we'd ask to come in with like musical elements, and that would be how they retain the information. So I noticed that there was like a link, so I started to do a couple talent shows, and a few of them actually did go on to be signed by major labels as well. Wow. Yeah, the artists from that. It was kind of strange because I didn't actually invite anyone there, like, but it just happened off the back of it. I think because of social media, some were able to actually like show that they've done a show, and I'm not sure if some of the young people acted as if it was their headline or what, but whatever happened after, but that was really cool. And then I was like, you know what? I think like I wasn't really interested in going into like the political side of working with youth and people in need. So I was like, I don't want to go into policy because that's just really boring and dry, and I don't want to be in parliament all the time fighting for their rights, like arguing as to why they deserve, you know, more support, more money for these things, whilst conservatives were actively trying to shut down things time and time, you know, every you know angle. So I thought, you know, maybe I could do some more stuff with music. It led to me doing my own events. So then I started doing my own events, and that's when I'd be choosing a lot of the artists that I'd come across or whatever to take part in my shows, or ones that I'd come across on social media, or I'd just see busking or whatever. I'd get in touch with them, ask them, oh, do you want to perform, whatever. And then it started to really pick up, and I was doing my box park in Croydon, because I'm from South London, so I did it pretty like local. And then I was like, a family friend knew that I really was interested in transitioning into music full time. Yeah. So they saw an ad for like an A&R internship at Believe Music. And they sent it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So then I went to like signed up, sent my email, like my CV or whatever, showed them that I was doing shows, showed them that like bits and bobs that I was up to, and then like I had a whole blog on Instagram that's called like My Name's Ree, and I called it the Ree Up, like so the Ree Up of music, and like sportswear, because I love trainers as well, still to this day, and I've got way too many. And then they were like, yeah, we'd love to have you on board. Fast forward, start working at Believe as an A&R. Then I got a job at Metropolis Studios, bringing in more artists and more people to know about the art of mastering and really finishing their music, like getting it like studio ready and polished. And then I worked at BMG, and then as an A&R as well, then UMG as an A&R as well, and then AWOL in the artist support team as support for the artist, but also A&R elements where I would do like more business development deals. So I'd acquire labels and do support in that way, and you know, they may not be releasing like frontline like new releases, but their catalogue, you know, would have made sense, and we'd kind of like maybe work on some new music as well. And then from AWOL I came to SoundCloud in a similar like artist support like role, but still with like an A&R element where I'm able to like still keep an eye out for a lot of the artists and music that's going on, because I still love live shows, I still love, you know, the new artists and new things that are going on, and still have my ear open all the time.
What has been the most defining moment in your career so far?
Actually, I would say there was a point in time where imposter syndrome was just doing me in. I just was like, I don't know, it's kind of came around the time of like pandemic, and it's like it happened before where I was thinking like I wasn't really feeling like I was getting anywhere in music. And then I was like, I really want to stick this out, I really want to do this, but I don't feel like, I felt like I knew the least in the rooms that I was in, and it didn't make me feel good. I'd always been academic, I'd always, you know, I'd gone to a grammar school, always performed really well in like exams and in schoolwork, so it felt really foreign to me to have that feeling. And then I thought, okay, well, the best thing I know how to do is to educate myself, but how do I do that? And then I was looking at options for funding, and then I saw this program called the Power Up program, which is by the PRS Foundation, and they give 40 black execs, and so 20 black execs and 20 black music creators fund like a grant to put into powering up and like developing in the music industry. And I've been in the music industry for a few years at that point, so it was enough for the program. And I thought, okay, I want to use this money to actually like educate myself. So I wanted to do a course, and some of these courses were like tens of thousands and whatever, and I was like, oh, I got savings, but I like, oh, this is risky. It was a bit, you know. So I applied for it, and I was fortunate to be the first year of Power Up. So cohort year 1, and off of the back of doing that, I did a master's in music business management, because that's what it paid for, a master's in music business management at Westminster. And from then I was able to feel a bit more, not even a bit, a lot more confident in myself and what I was able to do. So I'd say that was maybe a defining moment, because whilst I had like practical knowledge, having like the theoretical knowledge coupled with it gave me the confidence I needed to really like be like, yeah, do you know what? I could do this.
Yeah, I'm honestly glad that you mentioned this, because one thing I've realized about the music industry is that in order to really like immerse yourself in there, you really have to take risks. You really have to take that chance, because you honestly never know.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't work out, you at least know you tried.
Yeah.
So it's always good to like just keep putting yourself out there. Like that's literally what you have to do. So yeah, and I encourage, like, if you know, they say, to work in the music industry, to work in a lot of different industries, but I feel like I hear it most, having worked in several different industries, I hear it most in music, like, you have to be passionate, because honestly, if you're not passionate, you will not be very happy when you're being paid so low. Like, I went from, you know, being, like, I could have gone into policy where I would have been 23 earning like 50k, and that's like 10 years ago. Do you get what I'm saying? So I could have literally been on 50k at those ages, but it wasn't something I was passionate about. It wasn't. I dropped down to half that, to start a career in music, and it was a long climb to get like past what I would have been earning. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it took a while, and I did take the risk. I'm grateful I did. Let's talk a little bit about the UK music scene.
Oh gosh, yes.
So how would you describe the current state of the UK music scene, especially for new artists?
I feel like it really depends on which pocket you're in, the UK music industry, or music scene rather, because the underground UK music scene is thriving. It's beautiful, it's varied, it's diverse, it's eclectic, there's something for everybody. It's so rogue, it doesn't lean one way, like it's, you know, there's like rock elements, there's alternative elements, there's indie elements, there's folk elements, there's R&B elements, there's rap, grime, you know, funky elements. There's like so much going on, but it's just so like it's very interesting. So I feel like that's in a healthy place, but it's still extremely independent, and it's still very like grassroots, edgy, gritty. So I really like how UK it sounds, and I feel like it's kind of reminiscent of when grime first came about as well, because people didn't know what it was. You couldn't put a label on it. Like, they kind of called it grime because it was like grimy to listen to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it got its name from. And I think that's what's happening now. Like, there's these no label music coming, just a mix of everything, a blend, and young, it's fresh, and you can't, you know, it's just snowballing, and it's just beautiful to see it just break rules and just do whatever, take whatever shape it wants to take, and be like reckless, really. And I'm really a big fan of that. I'd say the traditional other sides of the UK music scene, like the R&B scene, I feel like now it's in a healthy space, because they're coming away from wanting to be defined as UK R&B, and I don't know if they ever really wanted to be, like the artists are in that space, but it's kind of like, no, I'm an R&B artist. Like, I don't need to say I'm a UK R&B artist. Like, look at K1, like Nia Smith, like Sasha Keeble, like they're doing really well in the States, and Flo as well. I cannot not mention Flo, because I feel like Flo broke boundaries and barriers that weren't, you know, didn't fully get broken through before in a long time. Like before, you know, like I guess your Soul to Souls, who are like more OGs in that genre as well. So yeah, it's like they're in a healthy space. I would say rap, typical UK rap, I wouldn't say it's in a healthy space right now. I'd say it's in quite the lull. there's not too much that's exciting going on. But I'm saying that in regards to London rap, it's probably the mainstays, like the typical people I think they're finding it hard to find their next star, like since Central C. Like it's not really been, like the next one is not going to be London based. Well, the next one since then has been like your Fake Minks and your SD Kids. But again, I wouldn't say they're the same type of rap as Central C. So it's kind of like there's a bit of a space and a bit of a gap at the moment that I'm not really sure what's kind of happening there. I don't know if it's a lack of inspiration. I don't know if it's like policing of the culture and the scene, like because there was a time where like people like Digga D were getting arrested for their lyrical content, and so I'm not sure why it's where it is, but there's still the real rappers there, just the same ones that have kind of been there for the last few years, and I'm not really seeing much. Maybe the freshest in that scene are people like Leia and Nene Monroe, so the girls are coming up, but in terms of the guys, definitely none that are like London based. It's you're going up north, you're doing Manchester and Birmingham and Sheffield, and Liverpool, that's who's kind of got the scene now, I would say.
Do you think UK artists are getting enough global visibility?
I don't think they are, but I also am on the side of why do they want or need that validation from the rest of the world? We're a tiny island. Like, in order to really get, like world domination coming from the UK, it's a bit harder. People really underestimate how long it takes some American artists to break America.
That's true.
Like, some states in America are bigger than the UK.
That is true.
Like in its entirety. So it's kind of like, like maybe take your time and like maybe I'm not saying not to dream big, but what does that mean to you? If visibility globally, sometimes visibility regionally should be more important. Yeah.
So do you feel like it's more of a subjective thing?
Yeah, I think it's based on the scene as well. Because if you're R&B, then I can understand why. Because R&B is not known to be a UK-owned genre. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get why having the American cosigns and visibility over there is necessary, because that is where that genre thrives. But for the rappers, our rap and stuff is very different to American rap. So yeah, what I am seeing a lot is collaborations with like other countries such as like France, Spain, like South America and Germany and Holland, and those things being a bit more meaningful for global visibility, because it's intentional collaborations in territories that make sense and are doing very well by themselves.
What keeps you motivated in a fast-changing industry?
Doing the right thing. Like, I feel like I came into this always wanting to help artists and, wanting to, like, the sounds that I like the most to like shine through in whatever way that might look. And for everyone, it can be very different. So, I just feel like it's not just me who does it. Obviously, I don't do this by myself, but the artists need to have support. So if not me, and if not those like others that I work with that do the same thing, then they will have nothing. And then it's like I won't be able to hear, like the world is going to be deprived of those voices that mean a lot to me and that I think are important to be heard. So yeah.
If you had to DJ a party for 5 minutes, what's your first song?
Right now, Young Miami Spender. Where all my skin, and yeah, 100%. And then I absolutely love K1's Good Girl. Like, that song is gone triple plat in my head. Like, definitely, I'm Jamaican, so it definitely has to have some dancehall in there. So maybe a Shensia. I love Molly as well, so it has to have like a Molly track in there. So maybe Freaky, her most recent one. They would be mixed in there a little bit, and there would be like a sprinkle of like another UK artist doing something really interesting, maybe like a Nia Smith in there, and Sasha Keeble. I do love Sasha Keeble a lot. and I Am as well. Yeah, it depends what type of party it is. Are we getting lit or are we vibing?
based off your list, it's like a whole mixture of things.
Yeah.
So maybe
that's how I vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. What song do you currently have on repeat?
Yeah, K1 Good Girl, but also DJ Cass, Addicted to You, which is his medley with between like Ryan Leslie's Addicted and then Movado's When You Feel Lonely. Like it's a like collab with that. Yeah.
If you was to upload something on SoundCloud.
Oh, okay, so wow, that would definitely be like Destin Conrad's new track, Nervous, because it's a mix between, he's Jamaican as well, so it's a mix between like R&B and like dancehall. So yeah, so like a Stalk Ashley, Destin Conrad, Brent Fayez type, yeah, Ari Lennox, some flavor. Yeah.
Is that a bit of like your vibes of R&B and dancehall?
Yeah, but I do love rap too. And I love like house music, like Afro house as well. I like the drums, like 808s, yeah. So yeah.
I like your music taste. I really like it. So now we're about to close. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure. Now, let the people know where they can follow you.
Okay, you can follow me on Ree_Sewell on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter much. And on LinkedIn if you are interested in getting knowledge into working in the industry.
Beautiful. And there you have it, y'all. It's your girl Sally's Like Alice with another one.